So, when we last left off, the party had met with Kitongu, a figure who has made himself prevalent across multiple different worlds, stretched out his consciousness into various forms, one of which you met, one that named itself Connor, and upon which you have had many interactions with other Connors, different versions of him in different worlds, and upon rendering this consciousness separate, rending them from their universe and bringing them here at the end of the world, he was presented with the original and thus reconsolidated to be reconstituted as something else. The mind, the idea, the consciousness, and reality that was Connor still exists, but is no longer physically manifested. And in doing so, as the soul is stripped away from its mortal vessel, the crusted form of a petrified Connor remains. Kitongu spoke with you briefly on a few different subjects before ushering his invitation to come and meet with him in his realm of business, his work, the pyramids in the distance, allowing you all to catch up and discuss and theorize and think about what to do next. There were a few other conversations had between different people, some of which bordered on treason. A coup was being staged, while others were urging other people to be more trusting or trustworthy. And as you all decided to take a rest in order to reconvene and start fresh after the recent events, some of you gathered your wits and managed to procure the spellbook of Miriam Gestalt, a large tome that Jack managed to procure before bringing over to... How many people are still awake? I believe Talia is asleep.
Yeah, I'm asleep. Jack, and Holgear are the only ones that are awake.
So Joshua is also asleep? Yeah, that's right, because he also took first watch. No, he didn't. Oh.
No, me and
Morbazak did, yeah. You were knocked out.
Me and did.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed to get knocked out. I was going insane.
And nobody would have woken you up, so you can still be sleeping if you would like to be. Alright. So, as my Holgear and Jack are looking over this large book, you discover that it is not simply just a spell book, but an encyclopedia of nearly every spell that has ever existed, some of which you have never seen before, either invented or so beyond your understanding that something that you've simply never heard of, spells that you don't know, but you can see that there is an organization system, and there are some pages that are blank. In fact, even between the pages, you can see different papers and notes, going over different things. And as you are investigating this tome, it is when Miriam wakes up. She turns and notices all of you, and simply asks, "What are you all doing in my spell book?" And then her eyes widen, and she plants both hands on the armrests of her chair and slowly rises to her feet as she says, "Nobody move a muscle. Don't speak. Don't look. I need to come over to my spellbook to do something. and I will explain everything. And she's like slowly moving, like almost tiptoeing, like, or she's actually heel toeing, just walking very slowly, steadily towards you. Does anybody move or say anything?
Hey, is this thing trapped?
You say that?
Is it gonna explode? Yeah.
Don't
Shut up.
move.
Shut up. Shut up.
She said we could talk.
She said don't speak or move a muscle.
Oh, my bad.
So do you not speak instead?
I would like to not speak.
Okay, I'll allow that. She slowly walks over to all of you and says, I have a large strap that goes around my book, she says as she kneels down. And I think it's at this point that even if you like move your eyes or notice as your periphery, you don't notice that strap around your book. And she says, I made it very strong and even animated to help me. I also was messing with some spells, and she's like going through the pages, and made it so that if anyone got my book without my permission, that it would attack them. And Jack, it's at this moment that you notice something constricting around your torso. And she says, unfortunately, I didn't think of a way to stop it in case it did start attacking something. So what it's going to do is going to crush you unless I can figure out a way to stop it real quick. So no sudden movements. And she starts paging through her notes, and then she actually casts like a. You can see that she like goes to like the message spell, and then she like starts pulling some papers apart, and really quickly casts like this weird twin spelled spell, and she mind links everybody so that you can all speak telepathically. And in your mind, she says, okay, so anybody got any ideas? Quick, because I don't think I can animate this object, and I also can't dispel it, because in doing so would set off its trigger, which would activate it and make it just attack and go crazy.
Would a
The
mage hand
issue
help
that
the
we need
situation?
to the current.
What'd you say, Holger?
Does it need to be reanimated or unanimated?
It is currently animating around your small friend here. It was supposed to start with like the smallest, and then it's gonna crush him quickly. And you can see that she's like poring over the notes of like the animate object spell right now.
I don't have the spell slot, but we have a scroll.
What's the scroll for?
Animate objects.
That's the problem. It is animated, but in order to change its instructions, it has to be non-hostile.
Well, the world are you supposed to make it unhostile?
She like gets an idea and like holds a mage hand on the page that has animate object, and then quickly scrolls over to dominate or hold person, and then changes their mind and goes over to like dominate monster. She's like, okay, I'm pretty good at making up spells on the fly, manifesting different things, but I'm kind of at a loss of what to do here. Anybody have any ideas? Because if I mess up...
Shield on myself? Would it have?
What's that?
Would it help if I cast shield on myself?
That might hold it off temporarily, but I'd use it as a last resort, because if you do move, it will absolutely start crushing. At the moment, it's just getting ready to crush you.
So is it considered like a sentient creature?
Okay, that's in the back pocket. I've also got silvery barbs too, so either one of those might help.
Sparrow.
It is an object. It is an animated object. It is not considered sentient, no. It does not have a mind.
Gotcha.
Is it possible to bardic inspiration through a mind link?
You would have to say something inspiring, so what would it be?
I've seen the inside of that spellbook. It's...
Who are you trying to inspire?
I'm trying to inspire the creator of the book, or current holder of the book.
Miriam.
Miriam. Okay.
Miriam.
Miriam has this ability where she can splice spells together, so she can manifest a lot of very interesting spell casting. So at the moment, her best plan is that she wants to combine dominate object, which is dominate person and animate object.
Yes. I suppose magical inspiration doesn't really affect a saving throw.
Basically, her idea is paralyzing it, and that will be like a temporary solution until finding something.
Yeah.
So,
How about you paralyze the darn thing and then unwrap it from Jack's weight?
yeah, okay, she's gonna go ahead and try and paralyze it.
No constricty.
I have
We've
to
got
roll
silver
again because
barbs.
they tied.
We've got that barbs on lock.
Okay. Yeah, no, it works. You don't even have to cast it. Instantly, Jack, you can feel the belt tightening around you simply stop. She says, okay. I'm holding it. I have to concentrate on this, unfortunately. But it is paralyzed for the moment, so it's not continuing to wrap around you, and it won't crush you, at least for the moment. How do we get it off him, though?
Can't we just unwrap it?
It's
Could you just
paralyzed.
transmute
It's
it into
frozen
something
stiff.
else?
Say that again, Jack.
Could shimmy it off.
So could you just transmute it into something else?
I mean, it's not just leather. There's also belt. It'd be a lot. It would be hard for me to concentrate on doing that while also holding a spell.
Is the strap important to the point? How about we just break the strap, we mend it, or you can reanimate.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Fireball Jack?
Yes.
I have swords.
My God. Oh, my, why?
What? That was not in character. Just saying. That was me, not mine.
Even so.
Also, Talia, you're asleep.
Oh,
Yeah, Talia, you're asleep. Really inconvenient.
You were both medicated.
Oh, can what's his face probably know what to do? I don't know. Wake up the cat.
I mean, the cat doesn't sleep, so he's also awake.
Oh, he's just
Yeah.
watching. I'm gonna look over at him and kind of nod over to ask him to come over and help.
He's not gonna move, but he will look over and say, I do not understand the issue of this situation. Can Jack simply not attune to the item? Miriam blinks. That's a thought. He would need a couple hours, but I could cast a time stop.
I mean,
For
does it have to be Jack, or I guess
I'm willing to hang here for a couple hours.
Jack's like, it's free food in here, man. Of course.
Not wrap around anyone else.
Alright. Fine. We'll just sit and chat for a couple of hours. And in those couple of hours, I would like to ask about the current situation that got us in this mess. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not mad. I'm not upset that you stole my book. But I am curious. I won't even say I'm disappointed, but how's this? I would like to withhold judgment until understanding why you wanted my book. I mean, if you wanted a spell, I could show you. Like, she flips through the pages. I know how to navigate this book. You could have just asked.
To be honest with you, we were just kind of curious. I mean, you know, it's not often you see a spell book lying around, and
You know what it was?
you know,
I'll be completely
things kind of
honest
happen.
with you, Miriam. I thought you were under some sort of spell that you couldn't talk about.
She gives you a weird look. A spell that I couldn't talk about. What exactly?
Like a curse or something you couldn't tell us about. Like you forgot
did you
about it. Like
figure?
What?
How did you figure that?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
You see crazy shit when you live in the woods, okay?
Okay.
You see crazy stuff when you live in the desert.
True
Answer
that.
the question.
It's wood.
I just answered the what question? I just
What
answered.
made you think I was under a spell or curse?
I don't know, because you're weird.
You're weird as well.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to tell you my entire life
Let's
story.
not start throwing the weird stones.
I didn't ask for your entire life story. I just think it's odd that you want to sit here secluded, with nothing.
I did not say that at all.
Then why don't you want to come with us?
Because you're a bunch of weirdos that just kind of showed up, and I don't want to trust you immediately.
And you're a weirdo all by yourself with creepy, alien
Wait a
man.
second.
Your situation is extremely weird, and you're trusting
If you
that
didn't-
demonic
if you don't-
tree thing?
I didn't say I was trusting shit all, okay? I just want to get home and get my brother back to normal.
I
This
think
is-
we can all agree that. I think we can all agree nobody trusts anybody, and that's kind of why we were looking through the spell book to see if there was any guidance in there that could give us an idea of whether we should trust you or not.
Fair
That's
enough.
the only thing we were doing.
It's a spell book. I mean, did you find anything?
I don't know, you kind of
I didn't know what I was
interrupted us.
looking for. I was just looking to keep looking. Yeah, we didn't get very far in it.
All we saw was the thing about I don't know who left you this book. Or if, to be honest, I don't know if your name's really Miriam. By reading this,
What?
but I could just be wrong.
I mean, I don't know if your name is really Mai. Did you choose that name? Did someone give
No,
it to you?
I-
Is that even really
no,
your
'cause-
name? Who defines things like that?
No, because your
Look.
fucking the book is addressed.
I think I can
Yeah.
answer the. I can answer the situation. The situation is the only cure for ignorance is to learn information. We were just trying to learn information, cure our own ignorance of the situation. That's all we
Wait,
were
Sparrow.
trying to do.
Wait. Okay, hang on.
Yes.
Let me make sure that I have information correct, because when we were looking through the book, you said that the book was from Miriam to her daughter, right?
Yes.
Okay.
To my loving daughter, who I want to have everything.
Right.
Or you deserve everything, basically. Something like I don't know.
Right. So, yeah. So you have a daughter, right?
I would love
Or-
to have a daughter.
So then why is this book addressed to the daughter of Miriam.
Because I want to give this to her. Obviously.
She doesn't exist!
It's not done yet! Obviously, there's still spells missing. I'm collecting them. I'm learning some. I'm
Wait,
making
so
some.
So you have a kid or you don't have... I'm so confused.
Do you not know things called, like, hopes and dreams and goals? You know, the entire thing that you base your life around?
Do you know how babies are made?
I was born from a tree.
She gives you such a look, Holgear.
My gosh, Holgear, why?
She said earlier she popped out of a tree. I don't know if she knows how biology works.
Oh, I thought you were asking
Not
Miriam.
No,
Oh, no.
I was asking Mai.
Oh, okay.
Both people would be a funny person to ask that question for sure.
I will also say this conversation has gotten quite loud if Joshua and Talia want to wake up.
I thought we were
Look,
mind
all
linked.
I'm saying is that I was born from a tree. She
I thought it was all in
doesn't
mind
have a
link.
daughter. Unless she
Miriam
has some
started
way of
yelling.
getting out of here. So I don't know what this thing about hopes and dreams is. If you have a way to get out of here, do you? Because
No.
I'm trying to help, and you're being all standoffish. And I don't know what that ghost put in that drink that I
You're
had
being
earlier.
weird and asking lots of weird questions.
I ask questions sometimes.
That's because we're in a
Okay.
weird position.
I
We're in
you
a
want
weird
me to just
position. We're
assume
trying
shit
Fair
to get
enough.
about
back to
you?
where we come from.
This is a weird place. I get it.
Really weird people.
I also have questions.
So
and
why
I-
are you still here? Why are you still in this weird place?
I don't
What
know.
are you doing here?
That's what I'm saying. Is I don't know where you came. Like, where did you come from? Who
Yeah,
are you?
exactly.
I'm.
I don't have
Okay,
answers to
here's-
these questions. I've told
Here's
you
the
that.
thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Sparrow.
Wait. Okay.
What?
Or would you like to come with us and try to
Wait.
find them out?
Yes.
For
In your
that.
little spell there, can you hop dimensions? Can you take us to somewhere else where it's not this crappy place?
Unfortunately, there are certain spells that don't work here because of weird laws restrictions, because we're technically outside of time and space. So there's no connection to gods, you know, I can't cast certain things, but also if you're going to do dimension hopping, you need something from that plane in order to anchor yourself to. It's called like a tuning rod or something. Without that, you can't jump to another plane.
So
This
you're
is
coming with us
basic
or not?
magic, everybody.
Woman.
At this point, Talia like wakes up
Now
and
you
she walks over to Morbizak and just kind of like lays her back up against him. And is like, what the fuck is going on with that?
It is very gross, his form. It's not quite liquid, but I'm trying to find the best way to describe it.
Slime.
You know, like a water bed, but imagine the water bed was like sticky.
Slime.
Yeah, very very slimy. Also, the surface of him is like constantly shifting and moving.
Does
So
he
it's-
make that
It's
weird,
fine.
that weird like sticky sound?
It's like laying down on a bed of worms.
It's
Cool.
fine.
It's fine.
But yeah, I look over at Morbizak and it's like, what the fuck is going on with them?
So, Miriam, are you coming with us or not?
I said yes. If you'll have me, if you trust me.
Okay, well, I fucking told you to come with us before, and then you were like, no, I just want to help you guys get out of here. Like, what?
You asked me what'll I do, where'll I go, and I said I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know where I'm from. And it's at this point that Murmazak whispers back just directly to you, Talia, in your mind. He said, I think this is something referred to as hormonal discharge.
I heard that, you fuck.
No, you didn't.
I know, I'm kidding.
At
Well,
that point, Talia just
Yeah,
bursts
Charlie
out
just burst out laughing for no reason.
Maya's gonna look at her and just be like,
Nice.
are you okay?
No, I give Morbizak like a pat or like a soft pat. Like, oh my gosh, Morbizak, why would
He
you
is in a
say
humanoid shape. You have to remember this.
that? That's it. Oh my gosh, Morbizak, why would you say that?
He's like unaware of what he said. So
Yeah.
why it's funny. He's like, I am literally just being serious. Like I don't understand what.
Oh.
I think.
And I answer tough. I answer, and mine is like, I'm good.
Okay. Jack, how's it going over there? Are you attuned yet?
How long's it been?
20 minutes.
LOL.
Not yet.
Attune faster. I'm just kidding. I think Mai's just gonna. You know what?
What?
I'm sorry. Mai's gonna just go sit at a corner booth and she's gonna take shape, her fox shape, and curl up and take a nap
Okay.
with her little hat.
You just done with. Miriam just kind of watches you go and it's just like.
Oh yeah, I don't think she's ever seen her. Has she seen her morph into a fox?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
So if you don't understand much about this book yourself, Miriam, you can understand why we're curious about it too. And you got a lot of cool spells in there. When did you collect all these spells?
I've had a lot of time to myself to study and learn and practice. I literally taught myself magic. And I do understand this book. I made it. Like, literally from scratch. I mean, okay. I got the papers.
Do you understand the value you have as a teacher outside of here now? You can go to any dimension that you want to, or any place that you want to, and just become whatever you want to be, just based on what you can teach other people now.
You
There's
could
some fairly
literally be
unique
like
stuff in there.
a mage.
She sits back when you say that, as if this profound statement had not crossed her mind until you said it. I didn't think about that. It's probably because it's, you know, a thought of what to do once you leave that I tried to stop thinking about stuff like that, of like, oh, only when I leave, you know, what'll I do once I leave, you know. So haven't really
Well, now's
even
your
considered it.
opportunity.
Okay, yeah. I am
You've never
trying.
had a better opportunity than now.
It's really big. So, yes. I've been dealing with so little for so long that this is a lot, okay? You guys are a lot.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
we are. At the best of times, we're a lot. But we're also a lot of fun. You want to come hang with us, I guarantee you a good time. It won't be boring. You will live in interesting times.
I can imagine.
Wood just walks in on the conversation and says, "I'm imagining."
Who are we stabbing?
things." Shut up.
Jack's like, oh, the plan? I can't.
I'm sorry. Go.
Bro, Joshua was
I got
going
about
through a
another
bit of a
40 minutes before I
mental
can stab
breakdown,
anybody.
and things were getting really boring. I had to do something.
What?
Session was kind of boring. I decided to do something about it.
I'm sorry?
It's not you. It's
Wow.
you're just hanging
Rude.
out in a diner.
Yeah,
You're literally
for
just
like
hanging out in a diner.
another 20 minutes. Then do your thing. What? Go ahead, talk. Do. What?
Do it.
But yeah,
That's
Joshua
true. If you
just
call out the
shows up
session
in
and need
town
more, you better have
now.
something to make it fun.
You just say the Kessel Run?
No.
What?
He said if you're gonna talk a big game, you better make sure that you have something.
Yeah. Make it spicy.
Okay.
What you got planned over there, little boy?
Oh.
Says Jack, the littlest guy on the
Okay, that
planet.
sounded way wrong, but
Well, he's the smallest person here to the tallest person here. It's really funny.
Yeah, actually kind of is.
Hey, hold
Yeah.
it's a little funny. Yeah, Joshua walks up and says the thing he said.
It's time.
Slippery Jack. Apologize for confusing
Yes.
you with my mental breakdown earlier. Talia, Captain. Do not think you should trust the cat. Bye. Are we on good terms for now?
Jeez. Curled up his box.
Mine's taking a nap.
Take that
Miriam's-
as a yes.
Miriam pipes up and says, "You might want to take a rain check on that one." A long check.
Mine's having a feeling.
Miriam,
You might want to wait 70 to 80 years.
Oh well.
Miriam, you have any spell that can communicate with Omni Connor. Connor that absorbed our
He
Connor.
speaks common.
Didn't
You
Omni
meant
Connor
like
leave the realm?
message,
Kitongu.
Straight up, he speaks common.
Kitangu.
Yeah.
not language, but like communicating with him from
Like a-
here.
Didn't he leave the realm?
No, he
Pretty
went
far
to the
away?
pyramid.
Just go to the fucking pyramid. Who's with me?
We gotta leave. Or we...
Kitangu. Why can't we leave?
Because Jack has to attune to the book so it doesn't fucking kill him or attempt to.
Yeah.
Can
you have to
somebody
wait a
explain
little.
the book?
Or something. Someone explain it to him, because I'm asleep. Or am I?
Okay, so if you listen back on the VOD just a little bit, you would have heard the situation where Jack is being attacked. Oh, actually, it is important because he wasn't there for that. So yeah, he doesn't know that
Yeah.
Jack is currently being
Don't
attacked
want a
by an
metagame.
animated belt. Although once you wake up, you would see that Jack is being wrapped up by like this strip of leather.
Now, see, how
Say,
is
why
he
is
like
Jack
wrapped
all
up?
kinky
Because
now?
it'd be absolutely hilarious if he was like literally bound, like he couldn't move at all.
He has a little bit of movement. I mean, he was resting in a pretty comfortable situation when this first started happening to him, so he's not uncomfortable, but he can't do like a lot of motor control. I mean, probably however he was, probably just like sitting down or whatnot.
This is what happens when you steal clothes, Joshua.
You stole a book. This
I'm
is not
sleeping.
my fault. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to them. They stole a book. Without my
Borrowed a
involvement, so
book.
I
We
should
didn't
not.
steal it.
First of all, I didn't do
Ooh.
anything. Jack did. Second,
Well, I always get blamed for being a thief.
I mean,
I mean, isn't that a compliment against you people?
Kinda. I take it as a badge of honor.
I don't
I just
steal.
got caught this time.
I don't steal. I just borrow without permission.
Uh, long is it going to take for him to attune to the book?
Couple of hours.
Probably another half hour or so.
Well, actually, if we're gonna be technical about it, Sparrow did say he was about 20 minutes in, so he's got about
We
an
could
hour
choose to
before-
pass time at any moment, especially
Yeah,
if
let's
some of you want to
pass.
actually get a long rest. But like, he was asking in
we've all-
context to like the conversation.
So, your dad come to like your
I don't
pirate
think it's the
graduation?
book that actually has me. I think it's the belt that has me.
It's yes.
It's the belt that
Could
was
we
holding the book
detach?
closed.
Interesting.
Could it be detached?
I'll show it locks
I
off
think
the
if I
jack
just
side.
attune to it, that'll. If I just attune to it, I think that'll take care of whatever problems we're having with it.
Right.
If that's the path
Yeah.
you wish to take, I'm not going to stop you.
That couldn't hurt. Unless it's a curse something, then that might be a problem. But hey, we'll deal with that when we come to it.
Oh,
We got plenty
actually,
of magic users around here.
attuning to items only takes a short rest, which is an hour.
Yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
For some reason,
yeah.
I
I
was
knew that.
thinking it
That's
was
why I
like a
said
long
we
rest.
only had like a half hour more to go.
Yeah.
No.
so Captain, you go to college?
Why you ask me that?
I don't know, you seem like the person that was very bad at college, but somehow very popular.
Wow.
What a backhanded compliment.
The hell's
Very
that got to do with
passive-aggressive
piloting on a
word,
boat?
yeah.
Captain seems to do a good job to me.
Oh, thank you, Jack.
No worries. You're the captain.
So who gets
Which,
to
by the way, you
pilot
still
the
haven't told us who
spaceship?
your first mate is.
Didn't
Do you
they,
believe that is
Yeah, tell us about your
Toadgear
first boyfriend.
business?
No, this is
Did your dad give your first boyfriend the talk with like a magic missile in hand or something? Your
First
dad
of-
even talk to normal people?
Do you have a dad?
Or you're like somehow infested version of people's souls? I don't know how this works.
my pipes up. What kind of tree were you born from?
Why is everyone asking me questions?
Wait, Captain, are you technically a demigod?
Hello, kind of in a way.
I want to make
That's right.
so many.
Anytime somebody asks you if you're a
I
god,
I mean,
you always say yes.
technically, in real mythology, he's not a god, Jormungandr, but in this world, maybe.
Was
I mean,
it's
technically
in
speaking, he is the
context.
son of Loki, but
He would be. I mean,
He's a giant. That wouldn't make him a god. Okay,
No,
he is a
Loki is
god,
half
but
god, half giant, but then Jormungandr would be. It's not a demigod. It's a. There's
Like
like
a fourth
name
god.
for it. What?
he's like one-fourth god. Jormungandr.
Yeah, I know. Then it's like, it's not godling or something, but it's like something like that. I don't know. Either way, answer the question, woman. What kind of tree were you born from? Spruce, oak.
Wasn't born from a
And
tree.
don't say round one.
Were you planted in the ground as a seed then?
Yeah, were you the tree?
What? No.
I know that there's some sprites back where I'm from, and they're born from flowers.
How many frames did the sprites have?
Huh?
Oh my fucking god. Ah.
She's asking because the only media she's had to interact with is recordings.
Uh-huh.
I'm confused.
She's played every single Zelda game.
It's,
Sprite as in, like, character image.
oh! Okay.
Oh, I didn't realize because it was so stupid.
Wow.
How are you saying woe to that? It's a burn on myself for making such a terrible joke.
Anyway.
Talia's just gonna decide to like take a nap, like where she's
Oh.
like. Just,
Okay, the ladies are taking a nap.
Wait.
I can't.
And she,
Wait.
no, she tips her. Oh, she like places her hat over her face, and she goes, "Good night, everybody. Good night, Mom Black. I'm asleep."
I'm out.
Wait, does Mai get a dream because of the hat?
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Wait, I thought. Do you want to cry or no?
I mean, I'm already cried, so.
I'm for it. Okay. Let me get some music.
Yeah, set the mood. I want you to try to make me
Go ahead and roll
cry.
me a D100.
You're a I don't know why I'm being aggressive. I'm sorry. Hang on.
I know why
I
you're
mean-
being
One second.
aggressive. I know why you're being aggressive.
Why?
What?
I said I know why you're being aggressive.
Why?
Because you're drunk.
No, I'm
No,
aggressive.
no,
You-
she's not drunk. She's
Get
happy.
you every time.
You done yet?
Those two cross each other in a Venn circle. Or in a Venn diagram.
13!
Okay.
I have no idea what's about to happen.
Actually, I don't even think that's worth changing music for. You have a just because it's a short enough dream. You have a decent dream where you are on the vessel of a large, beautiful ship, and you're just enjoying the fresh air and the cool wind. And when you wake back up, you have sort of a mist on your skin and your clothes. It's just very refreshing.
A glowing dew.
Yeah.
I'm radiant.
hmm
As always.
I mean, you were before, but
Yeah, I know. But I'm
now
even
you're
more...
sparkly.
Now I'm sparkly.
'Cause-
Guys, I'm a vampire!
No, it's because
Oh,
your
no.
radiance is being refracted through all the droplets.
I'm blinding everybody.
Not me. I'm asleep.
Okay. Okay.
Not Morbizak, because he doesn't have eyes.
I think my overall volume is enough to irritate him in some way, for sure.
Okay. Sure.
Dude, all he has to do is like place one of his humongous paws over his eyes, and he's good.
He doesn't have eyes.
No.
He just senses things. Anyway. Jack, are you done? Tuning yet?
Yeah, I think I'm done. If we can
All right,
go ahead
let's
and
get
skip
to the
forward to that, I
pyramids.
guess.
Yeah, we can do that. It's easy enough.
Pyramid time, yeah.
Okay. Jack, go ahead and add Belt of Giant Strength to your inventory and attune to it.
Oh!
It is level 3.
Oh, shit.
Dude,
Okay.
fashion. Hell yeah. How are you gonna carry around your book now, though?
It's fine.
Can I look at my
Yeah,
bag?
this is an item that he asked for, and I said, yeah, I'll get it to you.
One way or another.
The strongest little man you have ever did see.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I put my
He's gonna
hand
be
in
able to
my-
run underneath a portcullis and lift it up like half a foot.
Jeez. Fun.
So, which one was it I got?
I rolled a
With
3. It should be
giant?
Fire Giant, which puts your strength score at 25.
Jeez. You're a strong
Okay.
little man.
Which, if you go into your character sheet and just change your ability score to 25, you can just override it. Because I don't know if the magic item
Okay.
works that way. So you might have to do it manually, I'm not sure.
Can I look at my bag of holding to see if I have like a strap?
Let me try refreshing to see if it comes up that or not.
Okay.
No,
He's
yeah,
the
I'm gonna have to
strong.
go manually change it.
You better watch out, Joshua. Jack might be the strongest little bastard in the group.
I highly doubt that. Come on.
Indeed.
Jack.
He ain't even more
What is
distracted.
it, 25 now?
Joshua.
Was?
If I arm wrestle Jack and win, can we go straight to the pyramids?
If you arm wrestle Jack and win, I will give you 2 gold pieces.
Now I feel like you're just mocking me.
No, I'm serious.
I want the swords too.
What swords?
I'm the one that has the swords, you moron.
Yeah, exactly. I just like to imagine that Jack suddenly has like
Talking in general.
unearthly strength that he's not used to. He like goes to pat someone on the back and sends them flying through a window.
I mean, I have my...
Whatever. Jack, come on so we can finally leave this place. Joshua just kind of sits down on his belly and puts his arm up.
Why do you sit... He's at a table. Why are you sitting at a table?
Table can become unbalanced and cause one of us to lose due to an outside factor. The ground
Oh,
is
he's
nice
scared to
and
lose.
flat.
Okay, alright. Alright.
Oh, wow.
It's only fair.
Okay.
So I'm ready to roll.
Okay, go for it. Both of you roll athletics checks.
Ooh, athletics checks. To get athletic. Ooh.
Hey, I'm actually not bad at those now.
Oh,
Ooh, how about a natural 20 for a 27?
What
I
the
was
fuck?
gonna give you
So-
guidance.
You
Never
you
mind.
both lay down on your
I will
stomachs.
smack your hand through the table.
Oh, I rolled a 1. You break my arm.
Oh, did you actually roll a 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no.
Wait, so okay, to be clear, are you laying down on the floor or
Wait,
are you
I-
doing this on the
Socket out of
table?
Your shoulder out of the socket.
Laying down on the floor.
Okay. You both lay
Okay,
down on
I
the
rolled
floor.
a 1, but I have like a I think a
Joshua,
+1.
as soon as you place your hand in Jack's, it starts to hurt, and you realize that this is a bad idea. And before you have a chance to resist, your arm is removed from your shoulder.
Whoa!
You just dislocated his whole arm, didn't you?
Sorry about that.
Oh yeah,
Whoops.
dislocations are a thing. I was like
My
about,
bad.
bro.
Mai just looks and is trying not to burst out laughing.
Joshua,
He's
go ahead and take
laughing.
13 points of damage.
Oh my god!
So it just looks over at I and says, "Please laugh."
Your arm is bending in a
It'll
way
make
that
this less
you
painful.
know is not normal.
What the
Did
fuck?
Genasi even have bones?
Yes! You're humanoid.
You're people. You got bones.
Miriam casts regrow limbs on you, so you heal that back.
Glitch.
Yeah, your arm is on the floor. I cannot stress that enough.
Oh, I
I
thought you just
thought it was
dislocated it.
dislocated. You legitimately tore off my arm.
You
Joshua
rolled a
is
natural
slightly
1
impressed.
and he rolled a natural 20.
But how did
Your
you
arm
have
is rent
That
from
feels
your
like-
How did your
socket.
fucking arm fall out? I'm so okay. Nobody
Okay.
piss off Jack. All right, good to know. Put your arm back on.
Brings a
Let's
whole
go,
new
bud.
definition to ankle biter.
I'm gonna give Jack 2 gold pieces.
Mhm.
They are just chocolate, by the way.
Jack still gives them to Joshua and says, "You might need these for the river Styx."
They are just chocolate.
They're just chocolate.
Chocolate coin.
Maybe Charon likes
She
chocolate.
never said that they were
Miriam's
just
like,
gold.
"You have chocolate coins? That's a rare. That's so rare.
Ah! Stay out of my back.
I'll trade you 20,000 platinum."
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay. So do we want to play D&D
Okay,
yet?
from
Or is
last
it-
Christmas.
We are playing D&D.
I meant like, do we want to? You know what? It's fine.
Yeah, I'm
Can we please go now?
Mhm.
I've suffered the humiliation of losing an arm.
I mean,
I
I was
feel like-
ready to go
Hey, it's
before
your
you did that.
fault.
You just had to fucking compare dick sizes over here, but alright.
If we didn't do that, we would have been stuck here for
The
another
little
day.
one's bigger.
Alright, let's go. Come on, Talia.
I hop up on Mormon's deck and it's like, okay, come on, let's go. We're heading to the pyramids.
Wait, is he still human?
Yes. So you just get on his shoulders.
Any more?
I'm gonna morph into my fox form.
Make her an acrobatics check.
Can I sit on Talia's shoulder, sitting on top of Morpheus' shoulders?
Oh my god.
I'm
yeah.
sure I could probably carry a person on each shoulder.
Oh, indeed.
No, I need to do this. This is.
Don't fail me, okay.
It's like having one of those like those fox like scarf things.
I rolled a 9.
Okay. You hold on to him, but you do bonk your head on the way out the door. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. And you've got like a little red welt on your forehead now.
Is it 3? Did you say
Yeah.
3?
Yeah.
2.
Oh, 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Don't listen to me.
But yeah, I thought he shifted back into his animalistic form.
No.
What?
Oh yeah. As we leave, Joshua, you see that the chocolate coins disappear.
But Holger, or not Holger, Jack did get 2 gold coins from you.
No,
Oh, okay.
it was chocolate coins.
He knew it ate him
You
down
must
right
really
away.
like those chocolate coins.
I already owe Jack a favor thing, so.
Okay.
So about these pyramids, are we head that way?
I guess so. Against my better judgment.
I think this whole
Better
experience.
judgment will soon be gone.
I think this whole experience you're having is against all of your better judgments, Miriam. So we're already in it.
Yep. It would seem so.
That's the spirit. Let's go, guys.
Okay. So are you guys getting onto Miriam's skiff? Are you... Well, Talia's riding more of a Zach. Is anyone getting back on the spaceship?
I'm getting on the spaceship.
Okay.
Yeah, Maya's probably gonna
Yeah.
try to get her brother on the spaceship too. So
Holger will let the currently sentient spaceship know what happened with
Okay.
Connor.
Pretty sure that's the reason that happened.
what?
Sure, the ship is the reason why Connor and you.
Oh, you
No.
tell the
got
ship about
got.
losing Connor?
Mm.
I want
Yeah,
to roleplay
well-
that scene real quick. Just real quick. As you guys, like, load back up, and the ship's like, hello, welcome back. Subject, Joshua. Subject, Holger.
Hey, I don't think there's any real good way to say this, but down there we met another Connor, like, I guess the peak of what Connor could be.
Correction.
And
Subject referred to Kitongu.
yeah, that guy. I don't know how emotionally attached you were to our version of Connor, but he was absorbed and turned to stone.
Current process is construction by Kitongu. Acquisitions and reformation. Understandably, Connor is subject resemblance to Kitongu. As such, projects such as current situation responds to and follows orders and wishes of essences such as designation Connor.
Connor can no longer give designation. Is there secondary protocol?
Currently, last situation delegated, Connor allowed interface, free will, personality, reconstruction.
Correct. Would you like to come with us?
May I be of assistance?
You can and you may.
Very well. Please select designation.
What was the name of the original ship? Oh, the Stug.
You want to call this the Stug 2?
User unit designation Stug.
Very well. I will be referred to as Stug.
Pleasure to
Right.
make your acquaintance, Doug.
Great, Stug. Full steam ahead to those pyramids. Kitangu is.
Affirmative. Next destination, Korstkedrust. Then translation.
Gesundheit.
Morbeth.
That's the lamest name ever.
What languages do you guys know? Joshua and Holgear.
Common and Elvish, but I
Okay.
do have comprehend languages if that's applicable.
Unfortunately, it's already passed. You know, if it was something
Ah.
written down, you could comprehend it, or if you had it cast already, you would have understand it when it came across. Now that it's passed, you can't preemptively you have to cast it beforehand. I will allow you to make a Arcana or Religion check.
I think those are the same, so let's do Arcana
Okay.
to make myself seem smart. I am not smart.
What'd you get?
I rolled a 3. I don't know shit.
It is a weird name, which makes you think that it's probably important. That's it. Joshua, what languages do you know?
I literally only know Common because I forgot to pick another language.
Okay.
Let's go.
So, Jack, what are you doing? Are you riding with Miriam, or you also getting back on the ship?
I'll ride with Miriam.
Okay. She's also got the statue of Connor and Maya's brother Ty roped up. So it's just like, all right, here we go.
Well, I've got the strength now. I can help her keep them up off the ground so they don't get smashed again.
Okay. Yeah, they're fine. She took some good care in making sure they're situated. Sort of like how you strap down a bike, basically. She took some good time to take care of it. But yeah. So you all make your way across the desert sands towards the pyramids. Any conversations that you want to have on the way there?
Whole gear.
Eh?
Think we're full crew and Miriam. Think we're a team.
I like to think we have each other's best interest in mind. But I think just almost all of us, well, at least like 2/3 of us, really like stuff.
What stuff? Huh?
Exactly. And that could probably put like a wedge in between us. But
What?
I think long term, at the very least, once we get into a stable position with, Universe, Tar, Mr. Rootman, I think things could be a little bit more stable. Then we can actually figure out what the hell it is we want from each other.
Jack pipes up and goes, I'd like a nice sword. Some
I
people have
just gotta
3 swords. I ain't got one.
I can let you borrow mine if you need.
Yeah, the stug is like flying close enough to the ground that it's basically like right next to the Miriam's skiff, and also Marbazak is, I don't know, maybe on the other side. So yeah, you're all close enough that you can have conversations together if you want.
Oh, nice.
I'd kind of like to imagine that, again, looking at the picture of the stug that I gave you, it's kind of got this lower section where you can kind of see there's some, like, lights in, like, just above the lowered section. I'm not sure how best to describe this, but you know those, like, drop ships in Star Wars The Clone Wars? Where they kind of, like, had a panel that slid open on the side?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a situation like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, there's like a loading bay, and then there's like doors that open on the side. Yeah. As you're making your way across the sands, oh, actually, let me. Okay, yeah. The stug calls out and says, "Warning: multiple life signs shown nearby." And
Any
what?
any specific
Oh,
stud?
crap.
Miriam comes out and says, "Looks like it's a bunch of dune surfers." And she points off in the direction. You can see there's like a billowing cloud of like sand that's moving nearby. Doesn't look like you're gonna cross paths or anything, but it is of note. And they're moving quite fast.
Are those guys dangerous, or are they just out here having fun?
Only if we get in their way.
Stug
I'm
always
assuming
in their
Well,
way
that's
at
the other
all.
way.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can maneuver around the herd if you want to. It'll take a little bit more time. So, I'll throw in another lesser priority encounter. But, oh, okay. You see like a little like chunk of metal just like embedded in the sand randomly out here in the open as you just sort of pass by. Specifically, it doesn't look like the living metal. It looks like just a chunk of building debris. But it's really far out here.
Maybe it's like some archaeological digs. Maybe there's something cool down there. Or something that should stay down there. Either way, you never know when you're opening these things up.
Yeah. Miriam sort of shrugs and says, "Yeah, sometimes I take a look at stuff like that. Doesn't yield too much, but you've got nothing better to do. Sometimes you can spend a whole day there."
Talia is gonna ask more. Is gonna converse with Morbizak. She's gonna ask him about like what weapon he was and during the war and stuff. Like just have their own like kind of pick up from the conversation that they had when they were doing their watch.
Okay. Go ahead and make another persuasion check. I'll allow religion.
Religion? Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, come on! It was gonna be an 18, but it fell over and made it a 2. Some shit. Nah, I rolled an 8.
You must not know much about your history, but the war of the gods that shaped the land is a long one. Not much to say other than there were many more gods and creatures of great power before. Since then, they have been weeded out in delegation and jobs have been situated, I was no longer needed, and so I was cast aside. There is not much more to say.
See. I guess I can understand that.
I know you're really curious, but unfortunately, you've just been kind of bad at these roles. He's saying that he doesn't really want to talk about it, or he'll say that like it would take far too long to try and describe it. So unfortunately, you don't have a whole lot of time for him to get into it. So he just sort of briefly describes the situation.
Man, these freaking dice on D&D Beyond. I have no idea what's going on with them.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Indy growing.
So he doesn't open up to you about like what he was in the war and whatnot and all that, but you can still talk to him and ask him some other stuff if you would like to. You just don't break through that barrier in the conversation. That's all.
That part is still a touchy subject.
Mm-hmm.
So are you enjoying your time as something, like sentient per se?
This separation from my form is a learning experience, the likes of which I have not had. I am looking forward to bringing this perspective back to my larger consciousness. But for the time being, I will simply observe and learn.
Well, I guess that's all you can do.
What do you think you're gonna do first when you get your new form back to your main consciousness, Morbazak?
Make a persuasion check.
Uh, 29.
Nice.
Ooh. There's a moment of hesitation, which lets you know that for the first time, he's really considering before simply blurting out an answer. Which lets you know that this is not an all-knowing creature. This is not a, perfect, unfallible being. And when his reply comes, it's maybe not what you expected.
I do not know, but I do hope that by allowing this essence to reform with my collective consciousness, that this will shed new light, bring a new perspective. I have learned much in these past hours. This experience with living creatures, something I do not know. I have been out of touch with what you would consider normal life. I have been held in a purgatory, likes of which are undefinable. But seeing what life for the mortals is like, even this limited version of it, as Miriam has experienced, is still intriguing. I wonder if the system of chaos in place that the world tree subsists upon is not so bad as I thought.
It definitely keeps things interesting. Plus, the differences created by such gestures to all of us, randomness, is what makes the universe great.
Let
It's
me
what makes us
ask
strong.
you a very important question in response to yours. Do you mind when the gods do not respond to your requests?
Not really. It's more of a... Oh, what's the fucking term? Psychosomatic? Help those who help themselves kind of thing. None of them ever really do anything unless it's like really world ending. But like, I've known clergy who just, you hear that somebody needs help through that channel. Like,
Morbazak
No,
kind of
that-
stumbles in its gait.
because like, let's say hypothetically, there's grandma who needs, I don't know, but what's a good grandma thing? Needs help tending to an orchard or some such. A nature cleric or a druid might come by. I don't know why Holger's gotten southern.
It's because he went out to the country.
Howdy.
It's because he went out there and helped Grandma.
You were
bring
thinking
in
about a
all the
field,
cattle.
and instantly a cowboy hat lowered onto your frame.
Milady.
So we're
Alright,
just
I'm
gonna walk down this road and head out into the country, y'all.
I'm going to silent image a cowboy hat on Holgir's head and
Okay.
just. Grandma needs help and she prays about it, but the gods don't really do that sort of thing, so they send one of their little guys to help. They send one of the clergy or just a nice person. It's more redirection, I think.
This is a interesting perspective to learn about. I believe the gods to be lazy, callous, judgmental, overbearing, situating themselves as they see fit, performing actions as they please without care. And so I believed that by giving them a structure, imposing rules upon them, forcing them into service for the people, that their actions would be more prevalent. But it seems as though perhaps leaving the choice and the ability open to the people might just be the better option. This is interesting. I will have to think about this further.
If you don't mind me asking, is your concern for the chaos and your want to sort of rigidify?
I was slighted. I earned a role, a place amongst this new world that was to be created, and instead, all that I fought for was ripped away. I earned my right, and yet it seems as though I may not be needed after all.
Maybe just not at the scale you think you need.
If I'm not needed, to keep the gods and powers in line, the construction and support of worlds, then what use could I hold? I am a series of checks and balances that all things abide by. But if the world truly lives, thrives in chaos, what is my purpose?
Morbizak, you ever think of becoming a god yourself?
Such possibilities are not worth considering. I am a formless force that has, through the thousands of millennia, only recently be able to take consciousness once again. My formless being able to be represented in a simple yet archaic form. I am simply, in essence, a greater will outside of things such as gods and abilities. I am more similar to the air you breathe and the world you walk upon than any being that represents itself and manifests a power.
So, you're like if gravity got a body.
What?
The relation is understood. Yes, similar. Although gods manifest themselves in more present things. The sun that shines down, the wind that blows, the water that washes up and feeds the grass that grows. These things that are manifested, able to be understood by your vision. Even this I am beyond.
That's a shame. I would have thought you would have made a pretty excellent god of order.
Make an insight check.
Of Law and Order. Do 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 do.
The pyramids yet?
No, I'm just asking an eldritch being that is the concept of order, what it wants to be in life.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Morbizak?
The end of worlds. No.
I will see the world changed.
I will see it burn and then rebuild.
The world will bend to my whim.
Thinking of more along the lines of a god of justice, but
Hey, justice takes many forms.
Yeah.
You said,
Justice is the act of, like, righting a wrong. Order is determining and maybe deliberating it. So, someone of justice would work for someone of order, which is true.
said
would you get,
insight, correct?
Yes.
Let's go disadvantage. That's an 8.
Okay.
And another 8.
Okay.
oh wow.
That means you have to roll again. And if you get another 8, you succeed.
Aw, I got a nat 20. Could I replace that first 8 with a nat 20?
I mean, with disadvantage, it would have gone to 8 anyways. So it doesn't really matter.
Do you?
I will allow you to exchange that natural 20 for an 8, which means you got 3 of the same roll in a row.
Oh, in that case, yes.
Okay. Then you succeed. You notice that the form of Morbazak changes. It's still manifesting itself in the shape of the Displacer Beast, but you can see its definition change slightly. And it's so subtle you're not even really sure what it is specifically, other than maybe, the sort of scrawling, sort of worming texture that was this sort of gooey form almost hardens. It's not this sort of slick, goopy texture anymore that's sort of writhing, but, becomes stiff and still. And it is basically like a matte car kind of sheen now. You can tell something's changed in Morbazak when you offer that he could be someone that deliberates order. And with that revelation, we're going to take our first bathroom break.
I hope that means he's no longer gonna try and genocide anybody.
He was never going to genocide anybody anyway, but to begin with.
Who's gonna genocide the
Yeah, he
whole
wasn't-
universe?
wait,
We
no,
all
no.
know it.
He wasn't the reason that the worlds are disappearing. It's the gods interfering with it.
No. But if he starts, getting real active, that means there's gonna be more tar.
That's. No, nature takes its course. I will either lay down and get off.
There's been a lot of God of War clips on YouTube lately.
And yeah.
So, I'm just
I'm really
saying.
vibing with new games this year, gonna be honest.
I'm not saying Morbazak has any relation or ties to or parallels with Mr. Bearded
Kratos?
but
Emir,
Not saying he doesn't either.
Wait,
all I'm saying is that he's been slighted by the gods and maybe seeks revenge.
all
All I'm
I'm
saying
saying
is
is
get
that
piece of
dude's going to
change.
betray us.
I thought you did say Mimir for a second. I was like, do you mean we could just take his head and carry it around with us? Like an ornament.
Oh my goodness.
No,
I
that
just,
would be the I can't imagine.
I just realized that Atreus sounds like betray us.
Wow.
Are you just now?
And bro, you mad funny. I forgot to laugh, so.
All right.
Joshua, what's up with you today?
Oh fucking no, man. I'm sorry.
You're so rude. He's just salty because he lost really bad. His arm, in fact.
And I am actually pretty salty about that. I apologize.
You're salty about what?
Losing his arm.
Oh,
to burn.
I'm sorry.
It was fucking.
Okay,
it
quick
was-
question. Did I legitimately get my arm back, or was that a joke?
You legitimately got your arm ripped off, and Miriam reattached it for you.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes.
Now it
Didn't
has this
wanna-
weird tingly feeling.
Well, because Miriam has this special book, she can cast spells at will. She just has to take a second to look them up.
That seems worked.
That seems what?
Borked.
I'm the DM and I can make whatever NPCs I want.
Okay.
But yeah, she's literally multi-classing into every class. Hence her
Every
name,
class?
Gestalt.
Every class?
Yes.
All of them.
Yes. Even the ones that you don't know of.
What do you mean the ones that we don't know?
There's classes we don't know?
Yeah. She's also trying to think of a class from Pathfinder and I can't think of one.
This is weird.
Now I'm just thinking about like all the weird joke classes that I made NPCs around. Like the legitimately, and I think Jack might even remember this, but there was a character in one of my campaigns that was a necromancer, which was able to summon cats at will.
Oh my gosh.
Necromancer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Okay,
Oh.
Hogier's back. Okay.
Ooh, time to...
As you guys are starting to near the pyramids, Miriam slows down. She actually slows to a stop and starts looking around.
Hey Sparrow, a quick question. Would I notice, since I'm riding him, would I notice that his, his skin per se, changed?
Sure, yeah. I mean, obviously everyone will notice it eventually, but you would notice it for sure.
Okay.
What's your passive perception?
My passive perception...
Actually, I should ask, were you paying attention to the conversation that Holgear was having?
Yeah.
Okay, then you would also probably notice when it happened and the significance of, when it happened, basically.
Yeah, my
I'll
passive
give that to you.
perception's of 14, so...
Sure, yeah. Bet the Stug and Morzak keep going on, and the Stug says, "We seem to have lost group passenger, Miriam and Jack."
I tell Mormazak to slow up, and I try to take a look around to see where they are.
Okay. They're a little ways back, and you notice that Miriam hops out and pulls off her bandana around her face to shield herself from the sand, and gets down on the ground and starts feeling around.
Yeah, I kind of bend down to where I can talk to him and to Morbizak in his ear, and it's should we figure out what the heck is going on, because that's kind of sketchy.
We can approach, but be careful.
Yeah.
I think the Stug stops and turns and says, "Should we catch back up with their group?" Joshua or Holgear? Which I guess is just Joshua, since Holgear is brushing his teeth.
Yes, it is time.
Okay.
Yeah. Return on the same pathing, please, in case there's, I don't know, some kind of trap.
As you guys start to get closer, Miriam starts shouting like, "Stop! Stop! Everybody stop moving!" Morbazak
Hold
stops.
position,
damn it.
please.
She bends back down to the ground and starts feeling in the
Hide
sand
the
again.
warp coke, soldier.
Jack, I think you're close enough to notice that she even pulls out her wand and sticks it in the sand. Like she's feeling around for something.
When she like yells to stop, like she kind of like Talia kind of accidentally like yanks on Morbazak to like get him to stop, and it's like, oh shit, sorry.
Morbazak's head morphs around. Like, his neck doesn't turn, but like his head just reshapes itself to be looking up at you.
I'm sorry. No, I'm looking at him like straight in the face, like, I'm sorry.
And
Okay.
the head slowly morphs back.
I say I'm sorry, and I just like kind of like give him like a little hug, like, I'm sorry.
Morbazak will remember this.
Didn't mean to hurt you, I swear.
As the stug starts to fly close, Miriam just like starts waving her hands and like trying to wave you guys off.
Stug, please halt progress.
Halting progress. And Miriam's like yelling like, "Get out of here! You're gonna scare it away!"
Scare what away?
She just gives you a look. You don't want to know.
Scare what away?
Alright. You know this special book that I care a lot about that you guys kind of owe me on? There is one spell that I need to catch, and I think before we leave this place, I'd like to get it.
Yeah.
Kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding you. If you all want to go to the pyramids, fine. Jack, do you want to catch a ride with them? I'm gonna be a minute. It's at this moment that Jack, you feel a rumble as the skiff moves, even though it's like lifting off the surface, which lets you know that like the ground raised up a little bit.
What was that?
Yeah, Morbazak like starts stepping backwards now.
Zach, do you have any idea as to what that was?
No, but it cannot be good.
Okay, back up nice and slow.
Miriam. Oh, wait, is Holger even close enough to ask Miriam questions?
Yeah, you can like lean out the side.
Miriam, by capture spells, do you mean capture a creature that embodies a spell?
No, they actually have to cast the spell at me, and then I capture it in my book. It's
that's
a thing.
way worse.
It's a thing I've done so often. I'm an expert at catching spells.
Like
Is
playing
there a mid-
fucking baseball.
Like,
All
go
right,
ahead,
I
go ahead,
guess-
shoot a spell at me. Just try one.
Okay. Magic stone, I guess. I'll just fucking throw a rock at her.
She's like, that's cheating. That's not casting a spell at me. That's casting a spell on a rock and then throwing me with a rock. Don't throw that rock at me. Do you throw a rock at her?
I'll feign throwing a rock at her and then use the motion to cast dancing lights.
She sighs and then like opens up her book and goes to the dancing lights page, holds it up, and then you watch as this illuminating light comes out of the book, and you watch as all of your dancing lights stop coming under your control, go into the page.
Okay, yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. You know, I've spent a lot of time making this, so it's... And she, like, puts her hands back out. Okay, like,
so
seriously, this is like game time. Like, if you want to join or help or, like, sit back and watch, I don't care. But, like, if it comes up and it sees you, and it's at that moment that, like, off in the distance, there's just, like, a massive... It's just, like... just a large explosion comes up from the ground. She's like, it's here!
Game time, everybody. Joshua, please hop off.
I would like
Stug.
everyone to roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Stug, once all personnel are off, please return to like 100-foot height.
Very well. I will stay outside combat range.
Thank you.
Talia looks at Morbizak and is like, hey, ready to have some fun.
I am unsure what fun entails, or what you mortals consider to be, but this does not seem like it.
Don't be a sour puss. This will be fun. I hop off and I brandish both swords.
The morning and
Unfortunately, I do not believe this mushroom giant to be a mushy friend.
Can I tell you?
Take an adversity token for getting the reference, please. Okay. Joshua, what did you get for initiative?
Rolled a 10.
Okay, nice in the middle. Mai.
19.
Nice. Holgier.
Natural one, because I was talking to the Stug.
Jack. Are you there, Jack?
Okay.
You muted, bud?
Jack.
Talia, what did you get?
Oh, it's about damn time. Oh, it's about damn time.
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Oh no, he's echoing.
That's
Oh no, he's echoing.
No.
Make it stop.
Yes, please.
Yeah, 21.
Nice.
It's a dirty 21, but still a 21.
Chuck, are you okay? Did the demons get you? Oh no. Got him. No.
You've done it.
Oh, I guess I should roll for Morbizak. Okay.
Whoa.
Of course he crushes it with a 24.
Let's go.
Bro, why
He's better than
did
everybody.
the cat get a higher roll than everybody else?
Because I rolled the highest. I don't know what to tell you, man. Now I'm gonna
Dice
roll
gods are
for...
bullshit.
Actually, you know what? I'm not gonna roll for the other thing. It's gonna be at the top of the round.
Oh, what?
Oh.
It's sassy pants.
Alright, fine. I will roll for it.
Okay. What'd you get?
Pretty good.
Yeah. The top of the round though.
No.
Good.
It's actually... Wait. I just started writing numbers and I didn't put people's names on them. Hold on. Okay.
Natural ones
it's
is yours truly.
the other thing is actually 5th in the order.
Oh. It's a good little middle sport.
Jack? I thought I heard him.
I can kind of hear him.
What do you mean you can kind of hear him?
I can hear him go. He got 14 is what he got. I heard him.
Ah, okay.
Check your connection. You might have a loose wire.
Sounds like you're talking to us 2 doors down and the door's
Okay, the initiative does not change. Allow me to go ahead and describe what happens. Because erupting from the sand, a few hundred feet away from all of you, is a creature so massive that you wish it was even farther away, because it seems like it's also several hundred feet wide. A towering pillar erupts straight upwards from the earth and goes straight up into the sky. You think it's going to just fly up into the distance and disappear, but instead it turns and wheels itself around and crashes back down into the ground and begins scratching across the surface, encircling all of you in what can only be described as like 4 football fields wide circle as this massive sandworm billows up out of the ground. Instantly the Stug like veers off as the thing crashes up into the sky and then turns and dips. And it is like hovering at like a few hundred feet away from all of you, like close enough that it could like zoop in and grab you guys if it needs to, but also staying far away that the sandworm won't, accidentally just crash into it and completely take it out in a single swipe. And Miriam shouts the most horrible battle cry ever, which is, "Don't hurt it! I need it alive!"
We're hurting
What
it.
in the what in the world kind of spell do you need from that?
You watch as this thing moves across the ground, and as it kicks up all these different sands, it starts to make almost this full kind of cloud around it, just kicking up, causing a constant like dust storm behind it that starts to envelop and cover its body, so you can almost not see it anymore, but you can still barely see movement within this dust storm as it almost starts to make this sort of sand tornado around all of you. And in doing so, you can start to see different sparks of energy just jutting from like point to point, and then you look up into the sky to see as it goes black, as the mouth of this thing emerges in the eye of the storm, about to crash down on all of you, and you watch as its mouth opens up with electricity sparkling across all of its thousands rows of teeth.
Is this a blue dragon?
It's a worm. It's a giant worm.
It's a giant fuzzy.
This feels
You know
like
the size
a
of like a
worm.
purple worm, right?
Pink.
Now imagine its older brother, the sandworm, that grew up not in lush soil, but harsh sand, burning sun. Sand is easier to go through, but it's also burning hot. And as it moves across it, it generates electricity. It just builds up a static charge. And Miriam shouts all this information out to you. As it moves across the stand, it builds up a static charge and it can shoot electricity beams. I need that. It's one of the few spells I haven't collected. If you don't want to be here, then go. But I need to wait it out until it uses that attack.
Can you call us crazy?
I'll
His
let me-
Morbizax go. And it looks up at you, Talia, who is next in the order. And as your steed, technically speaking, he asks,
What do you want me to do?
Well,
I fear no beast. But that thing.
it's really big. I don't want to.
As a plant creature, I naturally do not like worms.
Yeah, because they eat at your precious roots.
Correct.
Fruits.
Such the feud with your father.
Oh, poor baby.
Technically, he's a snake and not a worm.
Yeah, but he's known him since he was a tiny little thing.
You're old.
Oh well.
So yeah, you basically have Morbizax's movement, since he will be your steed for the moment. Unless you have a better idea.
Well, does he have the what I'm thinking is that would he be able to basically ensnare the worm in his vines? Would he be able to do that?
Not on this large scale, not with this small essence of myself.
Oh well, shit.
Again,
Well,
the
tried.
mouth of this thing is a football field wide.
Why the fuck is it so big, Sparrow? God.
Because when everyone fights a big worm like a purple worm, they're like, "Oh man, that's such a big thing. It's so cool. Let me fight it." When I make something big, I want to prove to you that you cannot fight it.
That's what you think.
Oh, we're gonna fight it, and I'm gonna shoot it in its skull. Wait.
You have to get
This
through all
one have
the
a
flesh
skull.
and stuff first, but
Whatever. This thing has a head area, I can shoot that.
Okay, Morbizak, are you capable of shielding people? Can you do that? Because that thing is gonna shoot off electricity, and none of us don't want to get electrocuted.
We will have to get closer.
Fine by me.
You
Fine,
can,
fine.
considering that Holgear and Joshua got off with the ship, they are separate from Jack and Miriam. So you have a choice. Where do you want to go to? Who do you want to shield?
Okay,
Oh,
let's-
also, Miriam and Jack are next to Miriam's cart, which has the petrified forms of Connor and Ty.
I put Ty in the ship.
Oh, did you want to do that? Okay, yeah, you can do that. We could say that you did that before they took off. And I'll even say if you guys wanted to put Connor in the ship too, that you can do that.
Yeah, I was about ready to say that. I should probably
Alright.
put Connor in the
So
ship,
you
too.
just have Jack, Miriam, and Miriam's trash cart. It's just full of junk
Damn
and
it.
stuff.
Junk lugger.
It's her loot. You don't care about it.
She's a junker. Like Star-Lord. In the movie, he described himself as a junker.
Yeah. We got it.
I mean, if you don't want to make a decision, Marvazak will make a decision for you.
Nah, it's alright. Since Miriam is the one that needs the spell, I kind of want to go to her, to protect her, from getting actually hit.
Okay. Again, she did specify that she kind of wants all of you to go away because she wants it to target her.
Okay, so
We can
she'll
make
stay.
it a target.
We'll stay.
Like,
we'll
you can
stay
run
close
distraction
by
and
her,
whatnot.
but
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can go over to her with his speed. You're about 60 feet away, and he can do that with his movement. He just dashes
All right.
over there. He uses his 15 actions to dash. I don't know.
oh my god.
Now it's your turn, so you're next up. So yeah, Joshua and Holger, you're about I'll say 100 feet from the rest of the group now.
All right, hold on. I gotta check the range.
I'm just giving you a general space layout. Talia, it is now your turn. What would you like to do? Mai, you are up next.
Since I'm close to her, maybe I can get its attention. Maybe I can get its attention to where it'll actually try to do it
Okay.
towards us.
Yeah, you just want to shoot some Eldritch Blasts or something?
How about Witch Bolt? That wouldn't piss it off?
Sure. Go ahead and roll damage. You literally cannot miss. So.
Alright. So. Oh, holy shit! Okay, so 3. That is 33 lightning damage.
Ooh, okay. That is enough
Tasty.
damage over its threshold to get its attention. You send a scorching blast. It just sort of ricochets and actually seems to disrupt the electricity that was sort of scattering across its skin. And then you hear a noticeable roar amidst this thing as it notices part of its essence is being disrupted. And Miriam just looks over you and I think you got its attention.
That was the idea.
Okay, just stick close to me then. And she pulls out the book and starts going through it. And she starts losing little piece of paper I wish I had a belt.
Morbizak, would you mind catching those papers so they don't fly off? Those are probably important.
Yeah, he summons a few tendrils that just kind of poke them and they just get stuck. He doesn't pierce the papers, he just kind of has sticky tendrils. Just hands them all back. Is that it for your turn? Alright, Mai, you are up.
I mean, I have tentacles of the deep. Would that piss it off too?
That's your pact thing, right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, you can't do that right now because you're disconnected from your deed.
Oh yeah, you're right. Never mind.
You right. All right, Miriam. Or Mai. Miriam is next. That's what I was trying to say.
Another day of you not knowing my name.
I misspoke. I was trying to say, Mai, you're up.
Nope.
Miriam is next.
Okay, I was.
Just go.
No.
Oh, so you passed your turn?
No.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take my fucking time.
I mean, we're not gonna go. We're just gonna sit here forever.
How far away is it?
Far, but
That's not-
I'm not gonna make a big deal about this. What do you want to do? It's 3 inches from your face.
Okay.
You're obnoxious.
Come on.
I was gonna throw my fan to get. I'm just going to move over to Miriam, or close to her, and throw my fan at it so it hits its face.
Wait, were you on the ship?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would have been with Joshua and Holger as well, so you would have to run 100 feet in order to get close to her. I don't know if you can do that. I legitimately don't know. I don't know what your speed is. I don't know if you can...
It's not.
Okay.
I didn't know that they were that far away from us.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I forgot you were also on the ship.
Thanks.
Well, I don't know if you ever specified where you were riding.
I did, because I was like, I'm gonna take Ty on the ship as we were
Okay,
leaving.
I'm sorry.
You never paid attention to me.
I was probably being...
It's okay. You're just.
I always feel like a bad DM.
You're not a bad DM.
You're not a bad DM. I'm just annoying.
Okay.
Wow.
I can't win. I hate this.
I am
God,
glad
yes.
For putting a big juicy worm in front of us.
I'm
Ew.
gonna cast Dispel Magic at 4th level, and your entire encounter is gone.
Oh, I thought you were gonna like dispel Joshua's magic because he's part elemental.
Can I do that?
There's
Is
only
that
one way to find out.
Probably. You just
I don't
turned
have-
me into a normal dude for a bit, so...
I don't think I have Dispel Magic, but I fucking would try just to see, just to know.
You're just like Pegasus and Hercules, and you blow out
Bro, that would be
Hades' hair. Just like,
Oh my god!
Oh, is my hair out?
Bro, that would like be the perfect
feel like-
disguise.
I feel like mine is 100% Pegasus from Hercules.
we're getting really distracted here.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what to do. I don't.
Okay.
There's not even really anything I can do.
Okay, do you just want to start running?
Sure.
Okay. Alright, Miriam's go. She is going to try and find the right page, and she rolled a natural 1. She is, however, going to burn legendary resistance to try and reroll that. That is also not very good. She is struggling to find the page. She's gonna use her bonus action to try and find it. Nope. She is struggling to find the page. She's like, oh, come on. Where is it? It is the sandworm's go next. And what it is going to do... Wait. I have to determine. Is it going to use the blast? It does! Oh, no. Okay, so it sweeps in an arc.
Quick question.
Yes.
Could any of us have done a what's it called? Silvery barbs.
Yes, you can absolutely silvery barbs this.
I would like to silvery barbs Miriam.
Oh,
Or is that too late?
wait, do you want to give her advantage?
I'd prefer.
Okay, I'm pretty sure silvery barbs, you can give yourself advantage, but you have to give another target disadvantage. Or how does that work?
Yes.
You can choose different creatures you can see within range. The chosen creature has advantage on the next attack roll, ability check, saving throw it makes
Oh,
within 1 minute.
okay,
Creature
okay.
can be empowered only one use of the spell at a time.
That advantage did not help. I rolled even lower. I rolled a 3.
Fuck.
Roll
Okay.
better, Miriam.
I suppose that does mean Worm has disadvantage.
Okay. I will roll with disadvantage.
If that,
Oh, I rolled much higher. The
good to know that
thing
just didn't help.
is that its original roll because I rolled so low, but it has such a high modifier, is that it's a 12 versus everyone's AC.
Oh.
Does that hit anybody's AC?
Mine is a 12, but didn't I get the windbreaker that upgrades my AC?
I
Yes.
don't know. Did you? Is
I
it?
think I
Did you
attune
put
to
it on?
yeah, I think I put it on after I got
Unfortunately, you're attuned to 3 swords at the moment, so.
it. Wait, I have. Hold on.
Is this anybody, or is it just
What do you mean, anybody?
like? Or is it just Miriam and them?
I think you are just close enough to get splash damage, but Holgear and Joshua aren't going to get hit by this.
What's the AC?
12.
Oh, I have 14. I'm good.
Yeah, you're good. I'm
I
now
didn't.
going to roll 4d12.
Mine's well, even if I don't even if I'm not attuned to the coat, my AC is a 12.
Okay, so this will hit you then,
Oh, damn it.
which means
I thought it was meter beat. God damn it.
yes, you're not making a saving throw. This is trying to hit your AC, which it hits. Ty goes to attack her. It hit you. Which means that you do take 15 points of lightning damage, and I do need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, a bitch.
That
15, right?
Yes. My Jack and
I got an
Talia, you take 6 points. You only take
Wait,
half
what?
damage. You
What
take.
is mine?
Oh yeah. Oh, actually, you take 3 because you got the splash damage. So you only take 3 points.
But what?
I got a Constitution save of 18.
Okay. You're good. You are not paralyzed.
Yay!
Wait.
You
Sparrow,
just
you said it was
succeeded.
12, right?
But it's halved and then halved again, so it's 3.
No,
So
but you
what-
said
Talia took the full damage.
okay.
Because it's. Was it 15? I thought it was 12.
Yeah, I'm at 14. So
You're at 14 hit points?
I'm at 14 armor class. That's why.
Okay, I'm not talking about armor class anymore. I'm talking about
Okay.
damage. You take 3 points of damage.
No, but that's what I asked you earlier. Is what?
What do you mean you asked me earlier?
Never mind. Just never mind.
Okay. So, with this attack, Talia took 12 points of damage, correct?
Did 15, but I can add 3 back. There we go. That's
Okay.
better.
Jack and Holgear took 6, and Mai took 3.
Out of blast range.
Oh,
Jack and
sorry,
Holgear.
not Holgear. Just Jack and Miriam. That's right. For some reason I was thinking. Oh, Morbizak. Yeah, Morbizak took damage. Ooh. Morbizak slumps to the ground. He's having trouble maintaining his form. He lost concentration. That is the sandworm's go. It is not going to dive bomb because it's in a position where it has all of you surrounded, and it's And at the end of a turn, it's going to try and recharge. It does not recharge. Jack, you are up now. Joshua, you're on deck.
What does that mean?
Oh,
Think
Jack.
I'm up next.
Yes, Joshua, you're on next.
Yeah.
Jack, did you figure out your mic?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to pull out my little piece of copper wire, point at the sandworm, and say, "Our leader right here," and point to the book holder and say, "She says that you can't fire her up with your little breath weapon. Is this true?"
Make an intimidation check.
Okay, we'll give it a shot.
I assume this is what you're going for, or did you want to do persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I got a 21 on intimidation.
Oh, jeez. Is it because of your strength?
No, I rolled a 19.
Oh, okay. You see its head shift ever so slight when you speak, and then you hear this low, gurgling sound. And then you look around as like more of the static electricity stops hovering in the air, and this sort of dust storm around you starts to die down a little bit as more of this electricity is starting to get pulled into its form. So you will give it a little bit more to recharging its laser attack next turn. Anything
And I
else you
will
want to
bonus action hide behind her.
do? Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I want to bonus action hide behind her.
Easy enough. Go ahead, roll stealth.
It's a good thing that it's
Miriam,
small
where are you
sometimes.
with that page?
She's like, don't
That's
rush me.
22.
Give me a second. Okay, yeah, easy enough. Joshua, you're up. Holgear, you're on deck.
I also look at Morbizak and be like, dude, you good?
You are 100 feet away from the group, Joshua.
Uh, 30 feet.
Okay.
They only have a 30 speed.
You
But
can
yeah, I'm
dash.
gonna travel my
Dash.
full.
Oh, are you going to do an action?
Do I have dash?
Anybody can dash as an action, which
Everybody.
just gives you speed again.
I dash.
Okay. Yeah,
Join
you
up
move-
with the group.
Yep, move 60 feet. Holgear, you are up.
Let's get as close as possible.
Olgir is currently attuned to the sandy boots, the sand striders.
Correct.
So I'm going to make my full movement, bonus action dash, get 60 foot closer,
Okay.
and then I kind of want to do something funky.
Oh.
Something funky.
Would you say, DM, that this is
Yes.
a creature large enough to be able to ricochet shots within itself?
Yes.
Awesome. It still has its mouth open and pointed at us, right?
Correct.
Cool. I'm gonna called shot, shoot it in the mouth, and try and get my rock to ricochet in its throat.
Okay. Do you have a consequence for missing this? I think the consequence is that you lose this rock.
Not a fucking chance. I'm not losing Nanny's rock.
Oh, that's true. It is also soulbound to you. So, what?
Yeah.
What's a consequence?
It'll probably get lodged in his throat if it misses poorly.
Okay.
In which case,
You have to go in there and dig it out.
Either
Here's
either
what I'll
that
give you.
or it'll either that or it'll just fly out and thunk him in the head.
if you don't have a good idea for a consequence, I will give you. I can give you some consequences, or you can make one. Technically, you're supposed to come up with it, but I've got some good ones if you want.
I am curious what you have in mind.
Okay. Either the attack instead switches to you instead of Miriam, or if the stone gets stuck and then it attacks, it will destroy the stone.
Ooh.
Not fan.
I'm not gonna fail. I've got resources to burn all else fails.
Okay.
I'm gonna call shot and shoot it in the throat.
Okay, and the effect of this is that it's going to ricochet around and deal more damage?
Yes. More
Okay.
likely to get its attention.
I mean, they already have its attention.
I know, but I want to do something cool, and that's my excuse.
Okay.
Jack just wants to participate, damn it.
Right, no, it's fine. You just want to pull your attention away from Miriam. I get it. Go for it. Roll that.
Well, I mean, you could just piss it off.
Alright. Called shot. I'm gonna burn an add 20 die on that.
Okay.
If I was closer, I'd give you guidance.
You could. You're right next to him.
I'm not.
Yes, because you dashed
You can't give
30.
guidance on an attack roll.
You dashed 60,
You can't guide
and he
attack rolls,
also
can you?
went 60.
But you said they were 100 feet. Or wait, what?
Mai and Holgir have dashed 60 feet towards Talia and Miriam and Jack. So they're side by side at the moment. Does that make sense?
You said they were 100 feet away, so... Okay.
Correct, but they both moved the same distance towards you guys.
Oh!
Yeah, they started together because they were both on the ship and have both moved 60 feet.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, technically, I'm supposed to roll a d20.
Oh.
And you're supposed to guess if it's higher or lower than your level.
Right.
Okay. I have just rolled the d20. Do you think it is higher or lower than your level? Your level is 6.
I'm gonna play the odds and say it's higher.
It is higher. I rolled a 9.
Yes!
Okay. So if you burn that natural 20, go ahead and take that back. Because you don't get to roll this dice. That's the whole point of this. I had to look it up again just to make sure, but yeah, you don't roll this dice. Okay. You watch as Holgir pulls out this glowing kind of burning magical slingshot, loads a rock into it, and it just goes sailing hundreds of feet in the air straight up, and ping, 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 cracking several teeth. And the creature actually lowers its head down several hundred feet in your direction, Holgir. It is now going to use a legendary action to make an attack against you, Holgir. You got its attention. That's what you wanted, right?
I am participating!
You brought this upon yourself.
Does a 14 hit your AC?
It does not.
Why am I rolling? I rolled a 4. All right. Holgear, make a strength or dexterity saving throw. Are you kidding me?
Oh no.
I rolled a 2.
Bro, it sounds like you're gonna cry. Oh, you alright?
Why are you
What's-
using those dice still?
Yeah, no,
I got a 4.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A 4 total?
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
it
might
is.
beat me.
It is going to engulf you,
Yeah, I rolled a nat 1.
unless you want to burn something to succeed, maybe.
An auto 20, perhaps?
I'll just use a regular inspiration point if you don't mind.
Okay.
Or unless you want this to happen, and
Up
you're
to
really
you.
sad that you missed.
We never know what he wants.
I'm just gonna say that probably being inside
Oh,
of the giant
fuck.
worm is not a good place to be. Did you roll another one?
The dice have decided it's meant to be.
What did you get?
Another one.
I got 2 nat
Exactly.
ones.
Are you kidding me? Okay. You watch as this worm like comes down and crashes into the ground near you. Oh, actually, because it's so large, it also makes an attack against Mai. What's your AC?
Oh shit, sorry, my.
Excuse me?
What's your AC? Because you're right next to him.
I never dashed, by the way. Oh my god.
Did you not? I thought you moved 60 feet.
I moved 30 feet. I didn't move 60 feet.
Oh, okay.
So that's why earlier I was like, wait, what?
I really thought you did. Okay, never mind. So you also don't take that 3 points of damage. So never mind all that. The big worm crashes down into the ground, and Holgear just manages to, against all odds, be not eaten by this thing as it just sort of slams into the ground and starts burrowing kind of halfway through the ground. And Holgear is like kind of tripping on top of it, boom, 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 and then disappears as this thing starts to go back up and circle around everyone once again.
Am I just buried in the sand?
We'll see.
So we will.
That brings us to the top of the order, which means layer action. The storm around everyone. I would like everyone to make Constitution saving throws.
Let's go! I got a dirty 20.
Nice. Success.
Sexy.
I got a 22.
Success.
My fucking thing's broken. But
What'd everyone else get for their con saves? Joshua, what'd you get for your con save?
Hold on.
Alright, Holgear, what'd you get?
You woke him up.
10.
Failure. Jack?
Oh, I rolled a dirty 20.
Success.
Yeah.
I got a natural 24, 22.
Success. Okay. Everyone that succeeds only takes 4 points of lightning damage. Everyone else takes 15.
I got a 19 if you care.
A
Can I
nine-
uncanny dodge that?
You can. A 19 is a success.
Cool. Thanks.
It is now Morbazak's turn. He's going to try and regain his form. He does. So he starts to stand up. He then sort of spreads out his tendrils and makes sort of like a dome shape that shields you all from this buffeting sandstorm that is happening. So that means that next time this lair action has, you all will have advantage. Or at least people inside of the hut, which is currently Jack, Miriam, and I think that's it. Yeah, nobody else is close enough at the moment. Oh, Talia, you're also there. Sorry.
Sorry to say, excuse me?
Yes. It is now your turn, Talia.
Okay. Okay, well, I think it's time that we get the thing's attention back towards us.
I mean,
let's-
it hasn't recharged its electricity attack yet, so you don't have to do that.
Don't care.
Also, Miriam's still looking for the page. She's like,
Hurry
I know
up,
it's right
hurry.
here. Like, it's the one thing that I've been looking for. Do you want to give her the help action?
Yeah, let's help her out. Let's
Okay.
help her out. Let's help her out real quick.
Okay, yeah, you just spend your action to give her advantage on looking for this.
Alright.
Alright, Mai, you are 90 feet, or no, you are 70 feet from Morbazak's sanctuary.
Yeah, is it okay if I kind of like look back at more of a second, like, dude, were you good a few minutes ago? You kind of just like went sploot.
I have to maintain concentration on holding this form, so taking damage is not something I am well suited for.
Good to know.
Okay. Maya, you're up. Miriam is on deck.
Yeah, I'm trying. My app is like freaking out on me.
Yeah. If you dash, you will get close enough to be within the sanctuary that Morbazak has set up.
Sure, I'll dash and then I'll
Okay.
give me guidance on her book search or her page search.
Can you cast that as a bonus action?
Uh,
Or you can give Bardic Inspiration as a bonus action.
I think guidance is the same. Let me see.
Also, guidance, you have to touch them, and you're not quite close enough to touch them, unfortunately.
She's not in the sanctuary?
You are in the sanctuary, but you're not close enough to touch Miriam. You're still 10 feet from her.
I don't give her bardic, I guess.
Okay. And that's a D8?
1d8, yeah.
Nice. Okay. Miriam is up next. Let's see if she can find it. Advantage. Okay. Okay. Bardic. This requires a change. A change of music. As she like slams her finger down, she's like, "I found it! I found the page!" And then she like holds up her wand and just sort of points accusatorily at the. And actually, she's gonna use her 30 feet of movement to move out of the protection dome. Just like, all right, you stupid worm, come on. And that's her turn. The sandworm is up next. And what it's going to do is it's going to constrict. Which means that it's going to close the dome. But everybody except for Holgear and Joshua are safe from this attack. So
I don't know if safe is the operative word.
yeah. Holgear, this attack automatically hits you. Joshua, what's your AC?
You said Miriam moved outside the dome,
Yes.
so would it affect her too?
No, because
19.
she's at the pretty much center of this.
My AC is 19.
Okay. This does not hit you then. As the thing starts to circle around and make this circle around you guys smaller, you kind of just get like picked up as you're running and you're just kind of buffeted by this thing, but you do not manage to get swallowed underneath of this thing as it's quickly spinning past you. You do take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Holgear, you unfortunately, you take 11 points of damage as you are almost kind of half buried in sand, getting drug over by this thing with its like multi-segments, kind of ribbed sections grating against you as it's just pushing you into the sand. How you doing, bud?
Doing okay. A little under half.
It's good.
I'm now going to roll to recharge. It gets the charge back. You start to see electricity start to crackle inside of its mouth again. Jack, you are up. You are no longer hiding behind Miriam because she moved away. But you are hiding inside of Morbazak's sanctuary, so... Oh, and he's muted. There he is.
Yeah, we'll do the message cantrip again at him and try to get him to go after Miriam again.
Okay.
I'll say like, oh, she's undefeatable. Don't even try with that lousy breath weapon.
All right, go give me another intimidation check.
Oh, not bad, not bad. 17.
Okay. It doesn't know where this voice is coming from, but it's irritated. Joshua, you're up. Holgear, you're on deck.
I do believe I'm in range, so I would like to...
Yeah. Oh, you've always been in
Shoot.
range of the body. It's the head that's like really far up that you probably wouldn't hit. That one you would have to make an attack roll for. But if you just want to hit the
man,
body, you
what?
can absolutely hit the body.
Right, I would like to do... Yeah, I would like to aim for a giant-ass worm's head.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
And,
Oh, I forgot to give you guys an image.
Is it the picture of the thing that you were trying to draw?
you jerk.
is this funky little friend?
This is the worm.
Yep.
Is this another Remnant Ashes guy?
No, this is actually from Dark Souls.
That thing looks ugly as shit.
And it does shoot lightning.
That thing is.
So it
Damn, bro.
does.
That's scary as fuck. Yo, I got a 21. I got a 21.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit its AC.
And that worm is kind of scary.
Yeah. What it does is
Also
it'll
like
come
to
up
do
and
an-
it'll surround you and it knocks you back. Or if you're like a little bit away from it, it'll shoot the ground with electricity. And the ground kind of has water on it, so it'll travel a bit. It's really annoying. It's pretty much impossible to fight.
Challenge accepted.
And I kind of have sausage. Do 5 damage. I would also like to do an action surge.
Okay. Oh, also, Holger, did you mark your cold shot? Oh, he's muted.
I can do that.
Okay.
Got a 13.
That'll miss.
That break its armor. It misses? Alright.
Yeah.
Lifted an action surge.
It's alright.
Turn. Wait, oh. Can I still move?
Yeah, you can still move. So you move 30 feet? Okay. So you're 40 feet away from the shelter with the rest of the party. Holger, you are up.
Can I move from my current position, or am I trapped?
You can, but you need to break a grapple check.
Okay.
So it will be contested, which you can silvery barbs. This is not a DC that you need to make. This is, an opposed skill check. Is that what you want to do?
I am curious, if I used Mobile Flourish, could I shove myself a certain number of feet away?
What is Mobile Flourish?
You expend one use of your Bardic Inspiration to deal extra damage equal to the number of you roll on the die. You can also push the target up to 5 feet away plus the number rolled. You could,
I'm a forgiving DM. In the same way that you would use like Gust of Wind to propel someone else away from you, if you did it against like the floor or the ground, you could propel yourself. Absolutely. And I will say that for sure you would not be able to push this thing, so you could absolutely push yourself away.
yeah, I would like to use that to break the grapple.
Okay. Do you still need to deal damage or roll to hit, or can you just do it?
Yeah, I still need a roll to hit.
Okay. I mean, go ahead and make an attack roll. The thing I did state is that you can obviously hit the body, but this is more about like the intricacies of actually being able to perform this action.
I rolled a 24 to hit.
That'll work. That'll do it for you. So you go ahead and push yourself up, sort of out of this sort of dug trench, and you push yourself up. I'll say that you're 40 feet away from the group.
Okay. So I shove my guy 5 foot plus. Five foot plus the number rolled, so a total of 10 foot. Not too bad.
Yeah. So you're now 30 feet from the shelter, or 20 feet from Miriam.
Okay. I'm gonna go 30 foot to Miriam.
20 foot?
Bonus action dash. Well, no, I still haven't posted my movement, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
you haven't moved yet. That was just your
Okay,
action.
yeah, I'll
So
just go.
yeah, you can
to
move
Miriam.
of your 30 feet. You can move 20 feet to Miriam, and then you can
Yep.
do something, and then use your last 10 feet to get inside the shelter.
I'm gonna clap Miriam on the shoulder and say, "You got this, Bardic Inspiration. Go to the shelter."
She. Oh yeah, she did use her bardic. Okay, yeah. All right, easy enough. Layer action. Everybody's inside the shelter, correct? Except for Miriam?
I think so.
I believe so.
I think so. Miriam unfortunately does not make the save. That's fine, because she has a turn before the worm to get
Yeah.
ready. Morzak's just gonna kind of pull the shelter in and huddle around. Is like,
I can weather this storm, but for a moment.
Talia, it is your turn. Mind your own
Sorry.
deck. What?
Sorry, what did you say? My sister had to ask a question, so I deafened myself.
It's your turn.
Okay.
Miriam has Bardic Inspiration, is out there. Everyone else is safe within Morzak's shelter dome thing that he made.
Alright, did he say anything? Because I thought I heard him say something before
He said that he can weather the storm effect, but if he is attacked by the worm, then you might all go down. That's basically it. I need to top off on water, so I'll give you a moment.
Oh. Yeah, let's think.
Loki.
I think we definitely need to stop distracting this thing and get it to pay attention to Miriam and not do anything else to distract him away from her.
Yeah, I was only distracted until she got to the page she needed. So.
Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is drag its attention back to Miriam. That way she
sounds like
can.
Alright, aim back. What you got going?
I think I'm gonna lure the attention back to Miriam, seeing how she now has the page that she needs.
I mean, she does have the attention.
Well, you know what I mean, like, piss it off to where it attacks her.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use Witch Bolt again, because that seemed to piss it off.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
Okay.
Talia, did you lose concentration on your first Witch Bolt? I thought
What?
that was a.
Oh yeah, it
I
is
thought it
it is a concentration spell.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought you
yeah.
would just keep it going.
Oh yeah, I guess I could because I did get 33 of the last time, and that surely did make it mad. So I could probably just continue being like, Senator Palpatine.
Okay. Then I need you to roll concentration a couple times for the other things that happen. I think it's just the effect. So go ahead and roll a con save.
Con save? Okay.
Yep.
Let's go! Dirty 21.
Okay, yeah, you're good.
Nice.
And Kalima, Lightning of Death. Alright, so I'm still witch bolting this guy.
Yep. That's what you want to do.
Alright. Alright, cool.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay.
Alright.
I think that's gonna be my turn, because I can't do anything else, and I'm currently witch bolting this guy to death.
Well, what was the damage?
That was for the, that was for the last one. I had a 33 the last time.
So what'd you get this time?
I did roll a 14. Not as good as 33.
A 1d12 plus whatever your spellcasting modifier is? Yeah, how did you get 30 last time or whatever? Oh, that was just a hit. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I rolled.
I don't remember what the damage was last time.
Yeah, the last time I rolled it, I got 33, and the reason why is because I rolled 3 11s.
Did you upcast it or something?
No, she's a
No,
warlock.
No, the damage for Witch Bolt is 3d12s.
That's if you cast it at 4th level.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I
The
have
target takes 1d12 damage on each of your turns for the duration. You can use an action to deal 1d12 damage on the target automatically. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a spell slot of 2nd level or higher, the initial damage increases by 1d12 for each slot level above 1st. This is a 1st level spell. So what level are you casting it at?
I must have cast it at 3rd level then, because that's what it is.
Gotcha.
That's what it represents it as.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll 1d12, because apparently this casting at a higher level only increases the damage for the first time that you cast it, which is interesting. The initial damage increases by 1d12, but not the rest of the damage on the automatic attacks, which is interesting. But okay.
I got a 3.
Okay. It doesn't really seem to notice.
Well, fuck you too.
Okay. But yeah, you're just constantly firing this kind of beam into it. Okay. Mai, you are up. Miriam has a bardic inspiration already, so. But you can cast guidance on her if you would like.
She also has help from me.
That was last turn.
Oh, that was last turn? Okay.
Right. You did help her, and then yeah. So unless you wanted to spend your action again this turn to do it.
No, it's alright, it's alright. Need to get this darn sandworm's attention. That way we can get this done over with.
If I were to try to cast invisibility, could I make all of us but Miriam invisible in the dome?
I mean, can you upcast invisibility and cause more people to be invisible?
Creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is invisible as long as it is on the target's person. The spell ends.
Yeah, you can target more creatures at high level. So
an additional
a 3rd level of higher. Let's see, how many people are in this dome? There's.
Well, that's what I'm saying is if I touch the dome, will we be seen and the dome is invisible,
Yes,
or will we?
that is how that works, because it is Morbazak, which is a creature, but you can make him invisible.
Okay, okay.
And if you make all of you invisible inside the dome, well then it's the same thing, because you're hiding inside the dome, so.
Unless we make everything invisible.
Well, does anybody else have invisibility?
I mean,
Nope.
it doesn't really seem to have eyes. You get the sense that it probably uses tremor sense.
Well, that wasn't something that.
You are drunk.
I'm not drunk.
I was
That's
not
exactly
expecting
what a
that.
drunk person would say.
I'm not drunk.
How many shots have you had?
A lot. How many shots will you take? A lot. How many cookies you bake? A lot.
Dude, at that point, you might as well ask, how high are you?
I don't know. Is anybody hurt really bad?
A lot.
Whole gear's pretty bad.
I mean, I have 35 out of 53. I should be.
I think whole gear is past half health, isn't he?
I'm at 23 of 49.
Okay, not quite half.
Is anybody else?
I'm like 1 point under half.
1 point under
You
half.
people need to fucking relax. No, I'm just kidding.
You asked who was hurt. Peoples, they be hurting.
That's only one person at a time, I guess. Well, so whole year's more hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna cast Healing Word on whole gear. Second level. So it's gonna be 2d4 plus whatever.
I'm trying to remember the last time that I had a player heal another player, and I can't recall it. I feel like it's been months.
So you have 10 points. 10 more hit points. You're healed. Full gear.
Okay. No, now he's turning on his camera again. It is now
The
Miriam's
camera
turn.
button's right there.
I completely understand you. Okay. Are you kidding me, Miriam?
I didn't say I was
She's
done
gonna
with my
use her
turn.
second
but-
action. I rolled a 3, a
forget.
2, and a 1.
Silvery barbs.
Okay. Okay. Alright.
That doesn't work that way.
I mean, all she's really trying to do is get its
Get
attention.
advantage.
You watch as a single stream of light pierces out from the tip of her wand, and it just sort of like a laser beam just kind of like swipes against the face of the creature. It doesn't really seem to do much, but it does help guide the worm on her position. She's now going to hold an action. Now the sandworm's gonna go. And now here's the annoying thing, because I'm gonna roll at random to see what sort of attack it does. Okay, it uses its shooting attack, so it's gonna try and hit her AC. It does. Okay, she's gonna use a reaction to try to. Okay. And of course the bot's being stupid. Hold on. I need to change the music for this.
Oh man,
Just
it's past
not do it, you stupid thing. Just okay. Okay. Miriam opens up the book wide, and as the pages illuminate, you watch as this thunderous strike of lightning comes down right on top of her, and you can't even see her for a second looking out from your enclosure. But then you can kind of, through the blinding light, look and see that there's like a section where the beam of lightning isn't hitting the ground, and you assume that's where Marion is. And then after a moment, it's gone, and you see Miriam still standing with the book open, its pages still pristine, and light glowing from it, as you watch the last little tendrils of lightning get sucked into the pages. And then Miriam just like starts cheering.
Hell out here.
She's like, yes! Yes!
Run!
It does not recharge that attack. Yeah, now it's Jack's turn.
I guess it's time to run.
Miriam turns around to all of you and says,
No.
yeah, I could teleport us out of here. It's not much, but it might give us a head start.
That'll work.
Okay.
Can you get us up to Stug?
You want me to teleport you in the air?
I assume you go to the ship.
That's a real target to try and hit, man. You're asking a lot.
That's fair.
Amazak, can you get us there?
Can't you just summon the ship?
If we are in the air, I could assist in getting us within the ships.
What? You can.
Sounds like a plan. All right.
Okay.
I guess the
Okay,
plan is to get
Miriam.
to Miriam.
Teleport.
Okay, Miriam. You're gonna have to toss us.
You have to toss me.
So I'm not the only one that got that.
Of course not. All right. So yeah, if everyone just wants to get close to Miriam, we can pretty much skip this round unless anyone else wants to do anything.
Nope, that's
I'm
just
good.
old Dogpile Marion.
Mai, do you want to heal anyone else? Does anyone want to pass out any more product inspiration?
I mean, I'll give
Sure.
Miriam guidance.
I'll give her a bardic inspiration, my last one.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. And you watch as the sandworm starts to barrel down, like ready to consume all of you, and Miriam casts a spell. Oh, and you guys called Stug in. I'm sure someone did that. I'm sure Jack like used his message or something. And Miriam waves her wand around all of you as magic symbols start to light up, and you are gone in an instant. And you appear in the air. The Stug is going to maneuver in, and it does get close. Marvazak is going to try. That's a natural 20. Marvazak just instantly latches onto it and just hurdles everyone inside. And Miriam just screams, "Go!" And the doors like close on the side, and the Stug just flies off. Oh, I feel like that's a pretty good place to stop the session.
I'm glad we played Fast and the Furious
Aye,
9 with you guys.